It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tuned into World Combat Sports.
Trying to wait till y'all fill up the room. Once again, you tuned in to World Combat Sports. Man, y'all need to fill up the room for this dance. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to fill up the room. Whether you peeking in through the window or you on the dance floor. Whatever. Tonight at 7 p.m., stop in. I have an interview with Rick Laser. Just letting everybody know ahead of time. The infamous Rick Laser will be on deck at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all see my thumbnail is straight to the point, man. It's straight to the point because, listen, I talked about this earlier about how many, undisputed fights we've seen around the welterweight division externally. And then how we have two pending. We have the bantamweight and super bantamweight. I made that perfectly clear. We've had 4 surrounding undisputed fights that didn't have this much cap. Why so much cap for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford? I'm just saying, why? World Combat Sports, without it being personal, because you have to put the disclaimer out there, because you believe as much as people frequent YouTube, they have thicker skin. But somehow when my voice is speaking and I'm making a point, they tend to take this shit extremely personal. This isn't personal. I'm just telling you, anybody, any one of you channels that's out here claiming 55-45, any one of you channels that's claiming 55-45 and there's a fight date out there, click the link. Click the link. There go the link right there. Click the link. Prove it. Point blank period. Prove it. Prove it. That all of a sudden 55-45 has been agreed upon. Because you have your sources, I have my sources. Click the link and prove it. I give you a good 10 minutes, man. If you're not going to click the link and prove it, especially my channel, because they'll be quick to say, don't nobody look at your channel. Don't nobody tune in. You don't have the views. Okay. Since we straighten that out, all right? Since we straighten that out and know that I'm not doing the shit for views, I want any one of y'all to click the link and prove 55-45 on the fight day already. Because you're gonna be disappointed in what I gotta tell you now. Prove it. I want the people to understand that it's not all about being manipulated. But then again, as I say, it's not all about being manipulated. You have people out here that love and enjoy that manipulation. They love it. They love being taken advantage of. What their ears hear and what they mind know, true and untrue, they just ignore that shit. You know what I'm saying? They see blind individuals. Click, 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 click. Come on now. The clock is ticking. What's going on, DBMH? The clock is ticking, man. This is a challenge to any channel. Any channel that has claimed 55-45 has already been settled where the fight on the fight date. I'm hearing the fight date is going to be in October. Prove it. Because now you have people, if it's true, they should already be making their arrangements. So if a fight date has been agreed upon, right? Then people should start making their arrangements. So what venue is going to be at? What venue is the fight going to be at? If it's in October, what venue is the fight going to be at? I guarantee you, I promise you don't know where the venue is at. I promise you don't know where the venue's at. Because if the fight isn't taken care of, it's not completed, signed, sealed, delivered, then how can you have a fight date? And if you don't have a fight date, how can you have a venue? It requires no triangle theory. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? I'm just asking politely and respectfully. How are you saying 55-45 is agreed upon, and you have other adult appropriate individuals that's tuned in, that's actually catching on to it? Anybody who is sitting up here tagging along in this shit, you are part of the problem too. You are more than intelligent enough to research. All you have to do is go out here on social media. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just go out here and find it. First of all, let me direct you. Let me give you some helpful hints, all right? Start with Mike Coppinger. Go ahead. Start with Mike Coppinger. Just go out there and find the tweet he put out. Present that. Just start with Mike Coppinger, right? Just start with Mike Coppinger, because that is the Tweety Bird. That is the one that's the first responder, right? That's the media first responder. If they want to leak something out, they go to Mike Coppinger, right? Okay. Somebody give me that tweet. Today. I want you to take it off his timeline today. I'll wait. Please take the tweet of Mike Coppinger's timeline right now. Go find it. Because we already know what happened when he put that tweet out and the response that came along with it. Go to Fight Hype. Go try to find the individuals who were trying to bloom that onion. That the deal is close to being done, this, and this. I'm just saying, man, read my thumbnail. It's not personal. I just want you all to prove. If you're not going to prove it, man, stop manipulating the people. Especially coming over here in my chat, and y'all be quick to call somebody wrong and everything. I'm telling you, I have the right to do the same. 55-45 and a fight date. Prove it. Because I'm a credible source too. I take accountability for myself. I'm an independent, credible source because of who I know and what I discuss. I don't need viewers to vindicate me. I'm a credible source. I know that for a fact. People don't use my shit. I'm a credible source. I want to speak to the credible sources who are claiming 55-45 fight date already. I heard the fight date was October 29th, right? Prove it. If the fight is already October 29th, right? Where's the venue? Because if they got a fight date established, they should have a venue for a fight of that magnitude. I'm hearing people say Allegiant Stadium. Come on, man. Where's the fight at? That's all I'm saying. Help me understand, bro. It's a YouTube challenge. Prove Crawford Spence 55-45 in fight day. If y'all cannot prove it, I'm asking you all respectfully to stop puppetizing the media. That shit ain't cool. And then you try to come at a cat like me and try to prove I don't know what I'm talking about when the link is in the chat. Prove I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Y'all right now that you're claiming 55-45, and I'm absolutely telling you to your face that's cap. You're saying it's approved. Crawford agreed to 45. I'm telling you, that's cap. Capion. That is untrue. Anybody who listening understand what I'm saying. That is unfreaking true. That is false. Tell me your source. Validate your source. Because if you digging with PBC, then we should know some of the same sources. We should be able to communicate in code on how you getting this source. I know more than one person at PBC. Please explain. That's all I'm saying. All of you that's in the chat, respect the fact that WCS will hold them accountable. I will agree when it's time to check the box, and I will X that shit out when it's time to exit out. I want to know the narratives are being pushed around, puppetizing the media, diluting the airways with contaminated information. Why do you feel the need to go about it that way? The link is in the chat. Prove 5545 exists. Prove to the people that 5545 has been agreed upon. That shit is absolutely untrue. Y'all might want to pass the word. Pass the word. If it's an October 29th date, you go right ahead and reserve your room wherever that venue may be. Let me know where the venue's at. If October's the date and y'all dang hip hop who ran and you know putting this false information out there, I want you to do me a favor and go out here on this avenue, WCS Avenue, click the link and let's have a conversation about this. Let's start with the 5545. Let's start with the 5545. Let's start with the 5545, man. Crawford supposedly, allegedly agreed to the 5545, right? Right? He agreed to it, right? There comes a time when YouTube is already convoluted with false information. We don't need any other people that's just feeling it's just fun to go about it like that. Like it's free play. Whenever they feel like putting false information out here, it's almost like going to the playground. You just finding shit to do. It don't matter. You just find shit to do. Prove to the people. Click the link. 5545. Y'all saying 5545 is agreed upon. I'm telling you, you capping in a polite way. Instead of calling you a liar, I'm keeping it in a carefree manner and telling you that shit ain't true. Somebody prove me wrong. Because I ain't doing this shit for the views. I ain't asking for no damn super chat. I ain't asking for shit. I'm asking for your ears. Somebody in this YouTube community for the 20th time, the individuals that's listening to this and passing this along and putting it on other social media, they are laughing at you. They are absolutely deceiving you. They're just continuing to put attention on the fighters while they figure this shit out. They just continue to say, well, you know, let's put up false information. Have we not visited this shit before? Let WCS break this shit down for you again. Then the same shit happened with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Then y'all witness the same shit, bro. Are y'all not exhausted from being played with? Wasn't Eddie Hearn up here saying that they shook on it? That Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua shook on the fight. They have agreed on the fight. They have signed the fight. He was saying everything in the media about that fight happened all along. Deontay was in arbitration. The word was out there that Deontay was in arbitration. But people was on here pushing, oh yeah, we're going to see Undisputed. We're going to see Undisputed between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua for sure. Oleksandr Usyk is going to take step aside money. That's why they don't have no confirmed date. All along, they was just keeping interest, knowing damn well this arbitration was already settled. It was done. And then the news come out. Oh, I guess we are getting Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder trilogy. Oh, and then they start talking about it like they wasn't the ones sitting up here promoting and pushing Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. They know all along that Deontay Wilder was still in the picture. Once again, let me moonwalk backwards. And let's back up to all the other fights that have taken place that was unified for undisputed. Why didn't they get the same tread? Why didn't you all provide them the same tread? Because they didn't need it. Y'all know this fight is difficult to make because of who's involved. It's very difficult to make because one of the fighters left the promotion, which is nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with leaving a promotion that didn't satisfy whatever it was contractually. Okay, we're not going to get into the particulars about this. We already know it's public record. But moving forward, that fighter in Crawford is negotiating. That fighter, Errol Spence, is negotiating. We should understand there's two fighters negotiating. Those two fighters are still negotiating. I don't know why it's so easy for people to get up here and say, Crawford has accepted. Crawford has accepted. They're not going to be satisfied until Crawford accepts the lower percentage. The percentage has nothing to do with the fight. Once again, let WCS break it down for you, right? Devin Haney just went over there and made 2 point what million, comparable to George Kambosos 10. Once again, Devin Haney just went over there and made 2.8 million, whatever it was. Because I could care less. I'm just making a point. Because I don't pocket watch. He made 2.8 million per se to Kambosos 10, right? Lopsided, right? And y'all talked about how fucked the contract was, how fucked up it was, blah, blah, blah. But he went in there and goddamn dominated Kambosos. Did money have to play a role in him going in there dominating Kambosos the way he did? Because y'all was sitting up here talking about how fucked up the contract was. So if the monies was fucked up for Devin Haney going over to the Australian, forced to win the first one, else he wouldn't have got a rematch. Y'all was talking about how fucked up that contract was from the money until the stipulations. But now coming full circle, right? You want to sit up here and all I'm hearing is Crawford should take this. Crawford should take that. Crawford should take this. Crawford should take that. Does it have anything to do with them fighting though? Like physically? Does the money aspect involves them or does it involve us? Because I can tell you, one half of that, the latter, it doesn't involve us. Why are you so attentive to the numbers? Who gives a fuck if Errol Spence get more than 50%? Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn if Crawford gets 50, Errol gets 50? If it's boxing channels and we on social media talking about the sport, why don't y'all just pay attention to the fighter itself? Both of the fighters, when the fight is made, and let's start talking about making arrangements, reservations, and everything else, and enjoying our time with the fight. But y'all turn into an absolute debacle. This is turned into a fiasco like none other, bro. We've had 4 undisputed fights happen from super middleweight to super welterweight to junior welterweight to lightweight. All went off perfectly. Even a rematch. Look, a rematch, dog. We had 3 unifications at lightweight divisions. We had a rematch at 154. We had 3 unification bouts at super middleweight. The easiest one was 140. They both had motherfucking belts when it happened. And boom, they clashed. Jermell Charlo didn't get it done the first time, but he sure enough did it the second. It wasn't no bogus ass storylines, this false narratives out here pushing, the blind man narratives. He can't see shit, man. Just whisper in his ear. He can't see shit. Just whisper. Just tell him some shit, man. He ain't gonna worry. He ain't gonna worry, man. Just tell him some shit. He'll believe it. Mark Nash on deck. What's good with it? WCS, I have proof. It's based on what I think, though. Stop it. They don't have proof, man. Hey, Mark, I just need the proof, bro. These dudes put out the stories, then step back and watch 10, 15 other channels make videos. Not me. I'm making a video, yeah. But it's not even debunking it, because it's not debunking anything that doesn't even have merit to it. That's from people inside the inside. W says, I haven't seen a tweet, but as a self-proclaimed mind reader, I can tell you that Coppinger does indeed have information about it truly being agreed. If Coppinger would have had that info, he would have left his tweet up. That's all I'm saying, Paz. He would have left his tweet up. Mike Coppinger didn't even leave his tweet up. Find it. Find it. These channels be fraud, bro. Sourced up the movement. These dudes are sad, man. They are sitting up here passing false information, and then they act like it's personal with me. It's not personal. I'm just doing what you're doing. You put information up there, fooling the public, so everybody can go out here and talk about it, and it's me. I don't need a squad to do this. It's me. I'm telling the people that this shit is cap. This is absolutely bogus ass information. And all of a sudden, the grand finale, y'all, to put you on your heels for the mid-year meteor drop. For the mid-year meteor drop. It's gonna be announced July 4th. I want everybody to stand tight and get your popcorn ready. July 4th will be the grand finale to announce, with fireworks in tow, pyrotechnics, and everything else. Grab a slushie and meet us at the dang Stone Mountain Park. July 4th, y'all. July 4th will be the grand finale. When you see the fireworks pop, 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 pop. And then they're going to say, Crawford, Spence in fireworks. You're going to see 55-45 in fireworks on Independence Day, y'all. Oh my God, stop the motherfucking madness. They be clickbaiting on slow news days. Look, okay, let's check this out. When you say slow news days, check the current. Check the current on YouTube, though. We really can't say what's a slow news day on YouTube when the shit just keep on popping up and popping up. Why? Because it can be the amount of generated traffic on YouTube can be a team effort at the end of the day. Because on YouTube, even though boxing is everywhere, on YouTube, there's a selected community of channels. And within those communities, you have little groups that are meshed together, and they push the same narratives. So if those groups are meshing together to push out certain videos on that day, then they can keep the traffic going. They can keep pushing it. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be a slow day. But here we are, June 9th. And supposedly the fight day is going to be announced July 4th, y'all. They want y'all to sit on the edge of your seats the entire month of June. And on Independence Day, all the fireworks for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford will be announced. Oh my God, man, y'all smarter than that. King Mitch, what's good? Combat OG source said the fight ain't lucrative enough. I think the fight is ready now. Either whooping on Thurman won't make the fight. Now, listen, check this out. You misunderstood what he was talking about as lucrative. Okay. I agree with him when he said the fight ain't lucrative enough. You have to understand where he was coming from. You have to generalize it. And I'm about to explain to you what he meant by that. When he said it wasn't lucrative enough, that means in the benefit of the individuals who's trying to put up the money, the investors and everything like that. They're trying to find a way to pay for this fight. They're trying to find a way to pay for this fight. What he said makes all the sense in the world. It's not lucrative enough to those who's supposed to be, in charge of trying to make all the money flow the right way in the right direction to make this fight happen. It's not lucrative to them. Timothy Smith proved what the OG said. This dude has been in the game almost 20 years. When he said lucrative, a lot of y'all ain't gonna understand it just listening in. He was saying in a sense of them paying out to satisfy both fighters. It isn't lucrative to the damn promotion, and it isn't lucrative to the fighters. In order to be lucrative to the fighters, if Terrence Crawford won 50-50 and he's not budging, then they have to find a way to make it 50-50. And then Terrence Crawford want this on the back end, they have to find a way to make it lucrative on the back end. That's the lucrative standpoint. They're not talking about the lucrative as far as the fight selling and stuff like that. Yeah, you would think as much as we talk about it, the fight will sell and it'll be easy work, but that's not the case. That's not the case, bro. That's not the case. That, you have to pick the right venue. You have to pick the time, affirmative time, something that's official. There's a lot of planning going into this, not this YouTube rhetoric that people just come up here just creating damn fight dates and percentages. The fight has to be lucrative. Right now, if a fighter feel, oh, this is one of the biggest fights, then guess what? I should be paid. Like I mentioned earlier today, the pay is going to be different than what Devin Haney just did. Devin has a huge landscape ahead of him. They're going to get that money back that they lost over there in Australia. However he chooses to do it. If he does it at 135 or 140. Because what he just accomplished, he pretty much solidified another price point in him leveraging his negotiation once he walked to the table at another division. Nobody can take that away from him, that he's undisputed all the way cut and dry, straight through and through. So if he chooses to stay at 135, if Kambosos choose to fight or not to fight, and then he take another fight with whoever, they're gonna get paid pretty good. But with Crawford and Spence, they're much older. They're much more mature when it comes to the boxing game as far as their Wall Street. They're just not going in there taking no 2.8 for this fight. That's when he said it's not lucrative enough. They're not going in there just taking 2.8, man. They're not taking 3 million. They're not going to take 3.5 million. This is a huge fight. It ain't no, hey, quid pro quo. You do for me now, I do for you later. You do for me now, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. No, fuck that. That ain't happening. So hopefully that brings clarity to you, Mitch. I was in someone's chat and I asked who's the source. Their reply was me. Nigga, I was like, okay. I know who that. I know who you talking about. Shout out my boy Showtime on deck with it. Shaw Steele's in the building. Man, they got to get the high grease there, Showtime. They got to get the high grease, bro. Man, they sitting up here damn fooling the media, bro. They putting fight dates out here. Look, I challenge anybody. If you believe that October date, go ahead and book your room. Go ahead and book your room. Oh, my bad. You're going to probably hit me in the DM and say, well, what venue is it? What venue is it? We got a date, but is it at the MGM? Ask them. Because if they got a fight date already, they have to have a venue, right? They already signed, sealed, delivered a fight date, so you have to have a venue. All that correlates together when it comes to business. You get the money right, you get the fight date, and you get the venue. They're not going to say, well, we got the money, we got the fight date, and we have no idea where the fight going to be at. They have to bleed over the business aspect to the geographical footprint. They have to have an understanding of the site, which is going to generate the money that they're negotiating. Everybody included, they have to find some type of understanding where the geographical footprint going to be, and will it be benefit for both fighters? Is it they're not going to have it in Iowa? They're not going to Minnesota for this fight. They're not going to North Carolina, South Carolina. They're going somewhere where it's a boxing history, where people are gonna show up, put butts in the seat, and pay for this fight on PPV. They need the gate to be worthy, and they need the PPV sales to be extra superior worthy. They need them PPVs to come in real strong. So they need to make sure they pick a venue for the capacity that they're going to allot. Whatever the capacity is going to be. It's not going to be 3,000. It's not going to be 5,000. The capacity, they have to figure all that out at the venue and how they're going to then price the ticket sales and everything. So if you got a fight date, where's the venue at? If they agreed to 55-45, where are you pulling that money at? Somebody tell me, where are they pulling 55-45 from? Where? What venue? Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? I understand that OG was saying I'm just under the impression that this fight is indeed bigger than the suits and investors believe it is. I can agree with that. But once again, it's all about certain individuals willing to participate in investing in a fight like this. It's wild because they have this stigma that black and Latino sells. It has to be black and European. It has to be black and somebody. Somebody placed a stigma out there in the roadway and say 2 black fighters don't sell. Of all the history we got with black fighters having some of the biggest fights in boxing history, now this day and time, there's a stigma that black fighters don't sell. You look at it, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, that's not 2 black fighters. There wasn't a black fighter that had the title when Alexander Usyk unified the cruiserweight division. Jermell Charlo just unified the super welterweight division. His opponent wasn't black. Devin Haney's opponent wasn't black when he just unified in Australia. Josh Taylor's opponent wasn't black when he unified against Jose Ramirez. Stephen Fulton, when he unified and fought Brandon Figueroa, his opponent wasn't black. If Naoya Inoue unifies the bantamweight division, his opponent won't be black. Casemiro is Filipino. Stephen Fulton, if he gets the opportunity to unify super bantamweight, his opponent won't be black. I'm just telling you, it's a long way off from Corey Spinks and Zab Judah. I'm just telling you, it's a long way off. The compass is way off, goddammit. The calibration is motherfucking fragmented, for real. The calibration is way off. They don't want to see 2 black fighters in there. They have no freaking confidence, monetary confidence that this fight can sell numbers, whoever it is. But all of a sudden, on this YouTube streets, they up here saying 55-45 is signed, sealed, delivered. And people jumping up and down, yeah. Crawford, he took low. That's what he's supposed to. Now, these are the same people who were saying Crawford should just take whatever Spence give him. I'm going to drop y'all a gem. You know what I heard they was trying to make Crawford take? This is absolutely no snapback. I heard they was trying to push 20%. Don't say it's impossible, because Tyson Fury just got 20% for the Dillian White fight, and he knocked him out. Dillian White was 20%. I heard at one point in time, recently, they was trying to push 20%. That's not going to work with Terrence. However, you want to give him front side guarantee money and a low ball percentage on the back end of the PPV or whatever the case, 20% is just minuscule. It becomes a source of civility, almost like you working on a plantation. You put in all that work, you in the sun, you sweating your ass off, your muscles ache. I mean, you really put in a day's work. All for a paper plate of food. All for a paper plate of food. And then you don't get no drink with it. You say, hey, that hose over there. Yeah, on the far side, south side of the house right there, there's a water hose to come out there. That's where you get your drink. You understand that? All right, don't be picky. I know you've been working for 12 hours straight. This is your food. Enjoy it. Don't be picky. You want something to drink? You either drink your sweat or you go around the south side of the house and drink out that water hose. Y'all don't be fighting over there now. That may not be funny to some, but I'm just saying when I hear the YouTube community, some, not all, some of y'all talk about just several months ago, y'all was up here saying that Crawford should just take anything. Y'all was so involved in the money aspect of it that most of the live streams wasn't even talking about the fighters themselves. As far as how does this play in boxing history? Like, it's not like they doing something for the first time ever in boxing. I'm talking about it's not the first time somebody would unify the division. This has already been done. It's already someone who did that in the four belt era. This is nothing new. So why all of a sudden Crawford and Spence, people are coming up with these bum ass scenarios, these lies. They're sitting up here manipulating the minds of the boxing fans who tuned in to YouTube for some content. The content they're receiving is an absolute placebo. You're pretending like it's much more than that, but you're giving them placebo and you're making it seem like it's stronger than what it is. I'm telling you, read it. Crawford agrees 45-55. But then you put a question mark at the end. No, don't leave the question mark off, man. Stop. Man, most of us graduated high school. Some of us graduated college. Leave the question mark. Don't do that to the people, man. It ain't no 55-45 out this bitch. It ain't no October date. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the fighters agree, and the money has to be right. And you're talking to somebody who can give a fuck about this. I don't give a damn about the money. But I have to address the situation because people are acting like, oh man, Crawford, he's beneath. We got two black fighters now on the pound for pound list. And all they are worried about if Crawford takes less than Spence. Am I tripping? Find the tweet. Not screenshot it right today, yesterday, last week, and all that. Juice Lee on deck, Teach on deck. Salute to y'all. Knockout Boxing 86 TV on deck with it. Carpenter reported Teofimo next fight and was accurate. He reported Haney Cambosa's fight and was accurate. Now he reporting Spence Crawford and y'all don't believe him. Shit crazy. Okay, what's crazy is, hey, Knockout, go get that tweet off his timeline right now. Get the tweet off his timeline right now. No, not something you screenshotted before when he initially put it out. Go find the tweet on his timeline. Let me know. I just want to know where that tweet's at right now. Go to his timeline and extract that tweet. I might have overlooked it. Let me take some time. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't about what news Mike Carpenter broke. This ain't about Mike Carpenter. Mike Carpenter said what? He didn't say it was a 55-45 knockout. He didn't say it was a 55-45. Is that what Carpenter said? If you're gonna come over here and quote somebody, don't come over here talking about what he put out, bro. You need to stick to the topic of what I'm saying. 55-45. Did Mike Carpenter say it was a 55-45 already agreed upon? Did Mike Carpenter put out a date they'll knock out? Hey, if he ain't did that, I'm not sure why you're so adamant about what you typing in the chat. And it's all respect, bro. I'm just letting you know. Just like you let your people know, just like you let me know. Find a tweet. Find a tweet. Anybody. I'm waiting. I'm still here. Just go find a tweet. Download the app. All right. If you haven't already did, download the Twitter app. And please frolic through his timeline and find a tweet about Spence Crawford. And please read that to me. I don't want to see the WWE information about Seth Rollins and Dustin Rhodes and all those people that was, fighting on WWE. No. We're not talking about Devin Haney, George Kambosos information, because that's out there on the timeline. But I want someone to screenshot that tweet that everybody loved to talk about and read it to me. Because if we all can read, we'll know that he never said anything about no 55-45, and he didn't say nothing about no dang October 29th date. We know that shit is fact. So where Mike Carpenter put out is agreed 55-45, if we're going to reference him, where is it? Where is it? Let me know. Stand on your motherfucking square, man. Where is the shit? Look on this timeline. Somebody find it for me. Come on, man. We have Twitter. Let me help you out since nobody wanna, talk about it. This is the buffoonery that's going on, right? This is my copy since nobody will pull it up. I'll read what he said. If he's not sure, it's not confirmed. He said if. I'm not reading no specific order. If Spence Crawford materialize, and I say one more time, if Spence Crawford materialize in October, that would mean 2 mega fights in a span of 2 months. Okay, that's one after. Let's go to the previous one. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford are closing in on the deal. Once again, Errol Spence Jr., and that's something that I screenshot once it came out. Errol Spence, I wanted y'all to find a tweet that verifies 55-45 and the fight date. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford are closing in on the deal for undisputed welterweight championship fight in Las Vegas. Closing. But check this out. It goes on to say, but, look, you got that goddamn word again, that BUT word, goddamn it. But this is not the but that's comparable to ass. This is not the but that's comparable to bottom. But no real stumbling block. Do you find some falseness in that? No real stumbling block. So they're saying the fight's going to be made and there's no real stumbling block. So we should make sure everything is smooth sailing, right? Not one time did Mike Carpenter release that Errol Spence Jr. and Crawford have agreed on a 55-45 deal for the undisputed welterweight championship. And the fight would be October 29th in Las Vegas. Not just any Las Vegas, but the premier Las Vegas. Where? Where? Where's the 29? God damn it. I'm looking. Let me put on my glasses. I need to put on my glasses, man. I'm trying to find out where I can find 29 at. I might be motherfucking dyslexia, man. God damn it. I'm looking for 55-45 and I'm looking for 29. I'm looking at Mike. Somebody has sit up here and blanket over what you put out and said 55-45 has been approved, and you didn't even put that out, Mike. You did not even put that information out. And then furthermore, when you said welterweight championship fight in October, they went on and added a fight date. So listen, I'm going to go out on a limb and say these individuals are pinch hitters for the Carpenter Major League Baseball. They're the pinch hitters. For real. You got a pitcher that's out there that's known for down lining the batter up. You know what I'm saying? And throwing some very high and headshots. So Carpenter is pretty much allowing these individuals possibly the pinch hit from him on YouTube. I'm reading this and it says Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford are closing in on a deal. Closing does not confirm that a deal has been made. If a 55-45, why isn't Carpenter on record as verifying this? Because YouTube cats, they don't sit up here and drop info like that. Why isn't Mike Carpenter dropping? I want somebody to retrieve that tweet that Mike Carpenter said 55-45. I want somebody to retrieve that where 29 is on the back end of October. Also, if that's the case, why hasn't somebody else in other networks such as ESPN, SI, CBS, Boxing News 24, Boxing Scene, all these YouTube channels, why can't I find it? If I search, why can't I find other resources out here to validate these numbers other than YouTube links? He also reported Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. That's quite that's quite irrelevant. This is not about what Mike Carpenter. This is not about what Mike Carpenter, other fights that Mike Carpenter is reporting on. I told people to locate the tweet where he verified not only Spence and Crawford, potentially, this, that, and the other. I wanted somebody to bring the tweet that said 55-45. Y'all took what Mike Carpenter put out with October and you added numbers to it. Mike Carpenter didn't even add numbers to it. Why are y'all up here adding numbers? Are y'all pinch hitting? Did he give you the information? Say, go ahead and run with it, man. I'm going to let you have the information first. You know what I'm saying? I just ask that you look out for me, man, because I know how y'all YouTube, community is. Y'all strong, man. Y'all super strong out there. They go to y'all as first responders when it comes to this media shit, man. I love you. I wish I can be like y'all. Mike Carpenter didn't tell y'all that. Show me the tweet that Mike Carpenter said 55-45. Show me the tweet where Mike Carpenter said October 29th. Because if y'all can continue to put out false information, don't come in my live trying to correct me with everything and you ain't correcting them. Show me a tweet that Mike Carpenter said 55-45. And if he is the link as a first responder to this media biz, Why isn't it's on his timeline that he reported 55-45 with October 29th fight date? He said the fight gonna be in Vegas, right? We already know that. Well, where? Where is it gonna be? Hey, knockout, all respect, bro. You keep talking about what Mike Carpenter said about every other fight. I don't care about that. I'm talking about this fight with Spence Crawford. I ain't talking about all the other, duties that he's consisted of. I don't care about none of that. I'm talking about this 55-45. Find it. Find it. Why isn't no one else reporting? I'm not talking about what Mike Carpenter put out then, earlier about the same, you know, open-ended shit they're closing. We already know that information is out there. I'm asking the 55-45 October 29th. That's what I want to know. Because if you can find his old tweet and somebody else caveat, that just goes to show you. If someone else, I see knockouts at ESPN. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to see the tweet that says 55-45 October 29th. Mike Carpenter should have put that out too. Where is the tweet at? If he put out closing in on a deal, then if the deal is already made, then we should see him. It should be on his timeline. Somebody drop that link. Yeah, you got a frolic knockout. See, if I would have said scurry, then you would have said, hey, man, don't tell me to scurry because that's on the level of an animal or vermin. You know what I'm saying? So I said frolic because humans, we can frolic. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I didn't use scurry. Scurry people would have took offense and think I was calling you, something dealing on a level of an animal. But no, I kept it nice and harmless. You know what I'm saying? Knockout Boxing, that article doesn't say it's a done deal. All I'm saying, Mark, see, all the shit Mark do with producing and stuff like that. I know he has the visual. I mean, I know he understands how to read. I know that shit. I've seen it. He knows how to read. It doesn't say it's a done deal. It doesn't say 55-45. Somebody provide me a link outside of YouTube that we can kind of talk about this 55-45. He said 86. We're optimistic, but some are flat out lying and saying it's a done and saying that the splits will be. That's all I'm saying. Flex on deck was good. Said, let's go, champ. How y'all know they lying? Because for one, I'm gonna break this down to you, knockout. Okay, I'm gonna break this down to you, and if you use it on your live, I want you to credit me for this, right? All right, this is how I'm gonna deter what they put out there because it's not confirmed. First of all, it's not confirmed. There's a pecking order in this media shit. There's a chain of command in this media game. YouTube isn't the chain of command. If you want to base YouTube in the chain of command, military wise, this would be E1s, 2s, 3s. It would be the bottom feeders, and we have to do all the work, clean the toilets, sweep the floors, and all that. That's the YouTube community. Then you have the higher ups, which is the senior enlisted in charge or the commanding officer. They do the planning. They have the administrative logistics. They're the ones to get together and converse and come up with everything that involves going out on this operation. The operation is, in this particular scenario, would be the media distribution, letting people know this and this is going to take place, when, what is the money, all the fine details of this media stuff. It's a pecking order. The E1s, 2s, and 3s are not the one who putting out the information. YouTube is the E1s, 2s, and 3s. You're not at the top of the chain of command that you're going to get the information first. And you're close to the individuals that's discussing and making all the decisions. That's not how YouTube works. I don't care. just like myself. I don't care who and where they say they got the information from. I'm telling you point blank that there's a chain of command even in the media business. It's a chain of command. There's no generals on YouTube. There's no one that's sitting up here. I'll take that back. Look, in the boxing community per se, there are individuals who have made it to a certain point, like Ness, the TBV. He may get a little bit more information, and there's some other people on here that may get press releases like I do. I get press releases like anybody else. What up, knockout? Talk to me.
What's good, bro? I didn't know if the link was open for me to hop on, so I figured I'd hit it and see if you let me up, man.
Absolutely, access
I bet,
granted.
bro.
Access granted.
I was typing this shit. My fingers
Thanks for
started. I
lumbering
said,
in
man,
the live chat, bro.
I ain't finna keep fucking typing. I'm just gonna come holler at the homie, bro.
Go ahead,
I hope everything going good for you, bro. So the 55-45 shit, bro. I just came in the middle of the conversation, so I'm with you. I don't know where that shit coming from. Like I ain't seen the shit. That's why you ain't heard me say nothing about the shit. The
True.
only thing I would say, bro, to be real with you is I'm just excited that they saying the fight is close. I've always maintained I think it's been done. They just waiting to announce it, but I don't have no proof of that. The only thing I would say though, World Combat, bro, it be some people on the other side that them did a lot of misreporting and a lot of fake ass shit and a lot of fake news when it comes to Spence as well, bro. And I don't be seeing that energy from you, dog. Like I don't be seeing it. So I'm like, bro, why you so steadfast on this, bro? Why you don't be checking everybody the same, bro? Cause I ain't mad at you, like, cause I know the work that you put in and shit. I know how hard you work, and so if you feel somebody is falsely reporting something or just doing something, then you know, shit, you're a grown ass man. You don't like the shit, you speak up on it. Ain't nobody saying, you know what I'm saying, that you wrong for that. I'm just saying, bro, like why it ain't like this for everybody, World Combat?
So let me calibrate this, right? Okay. So I know you ain't mad. I know you ain't mad, knockout, because I know of
Hell
all
no.
people, your maturity, you're not gonna get mad at someone personally. You might, pick up your tone and debate and be aggressive with the debates. I get it. I understand. I understand that about you. You ain't petty. But
Facts.
what direction are you saying that I don't hold people accountable? Because I don't go around YouTube looking for people who are talking shit about Errol Spence. I don't do that. The message.
You follow Bernie, right? Because I know I do. You follow Bernie? You be
Yeah,
watching his shit?
but Bernie's not even 1% of the YouTube community.
No, but do you watch his shit?
Yeah, I do. I
All right,
do.
so he done misreported a lot of shit. He done said a lot of shit that turned out to be flat out wrong, bro. That with no sources and no nothing, and just been dead ass wrong.
Like what per se? Because Bernie is not my source.
I mean, shit. He told me that Errol Spence was fighting Keith Thurman, bro.
I mean, he told you that, Bernie. That's not something that
I mean,
I steal
he
from.
said it in his live stream, so everybody that was listening to his live heard it, bro. And
Well,
I ain't hear nobody like, nah, Bernie, where your source at? Where your source at? Where you get this shit from? People was riding with like, oh yeah, see, Spencer Duck. I told you he was a duck. You know how I
see
get
that
over
I can't vouch for that, because when I listen to Bernie, I just listen to what he says, but I don't go up here and do lives or anything, especially off something that he said that Keith Thurman was going to be next for Errol Spence. I don't care about any of that. I'm not reporting on that. I'm just reporting on if we're dialed in to the Crawford Spence finale. I
there.
mean, we're talking about a fight that's been in maturation and talks forever and a day. We're just waiting for it to materialize, right? And
Big
and
fact.
then all of a sudden, you want to drop some dates out here. All of a sudden, no, we passed that, man. We can't sit up here and act like we the chain of command at the highest level. And and a lot of us in this YouTube community put out false information. So if Mike Carpenter said they're closing, then how we get to 55-45? I haven't seen or heard Mike Coppinger talk about no 55-45, nor have I seen him put a 29 on the end of October, bro.
Let me ask you this, bro, because I know you and I, like, I'm a fan, bro. I just read some shit. I get my shit like everybody else, boxing scene, ESPN, all that shit, and then I just make my fucking opinions off of it, or I break down some fights and let you know who I think is gonna win the fight. That's what my channel is based off of. Now I know that you actually go to fights, you ask questions, you do the journalistic shit, but you have conversations and you talk behind the scenes to like team members and shit like that, and you have information sometimes that maybe you put out, maybe you don't put out, but you do talk to people behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Not
how we know that?
everybody, and not everybody, but some.
I,
Like
I
I
know,
like I
but
put it out there with Peter Khan.
so it's one of those things like prove it, disprove it. Like, how do we know that who the people that are saying this 55-45 shit? How do we know that they don't talk to people behind the scenes? Because a lot of the channels that I see doing this shit, they way bigger than me and you, and they got connections that you and I probably don't have.
Okay, I see where you're
So,
going. So
you
you
know,
saying,
what I'm saying?
okay,
Like, it's like
no,
yeah,
check
they
this
ain't
out.
been
So you
proven, bro,
saying,
but it ain't been disproven either. That's all I'm saying, bro.
okay, so we want to talk about the level of magnitude. The magnitude of this matchup is much more than just general banter of me going to fights, okay, and asking the trainer behind the scenes. This is none of that because you're not going to get any information from Derrick James and Errol Spence, and you're definitely not going to get any information from Terrence Crawford and Bomac. So that's level one to downsize, what you're saying about me just talking to teams.
Yeah,
I said on live before the fight even happened with Cambozo, I said I spoke to Peter Khan off record. He didn't want to be on camera. And I asked him straight up, I said, what's y'all direction of going to this fight? I just want to know. And y'all looking at Devin Haney, y'all doing this, we going where the most money at. I say, so the most money, and a lot of people odds would be Lomachenko. Yet we going with most of the money at. And that's exactly where they tried to go. They tried to go with Lomachenko, and he got called to arms. So they went with Devin Haney. And Devin Haney said, what? We forced you. They didn't go to Devin Haney initially. That's just one instance on talking to the team. But I can tell you straight up, Derrick James don't even let people in his gym. You don't even know who Errol Spence is sparring, so to speak, outside of Marvelous Jarvis.
yeah. I seen the fucking I seen the fence and shit, and you can't get in there, motherfucker. It's like
You can't
behind the
get in
big
there.
ass
That shit is
fence. Yeah, I
ironclad.
seen this shit. I seen this
No
shit, bro.
more, no more Correa, no more Correa, ILTBA, nope, none of that shit. He has an ironclad security perimeter set up at what World Class Gym or whatever it's called,
Yeah, World Class Gym. Yeah,
World Class Gym. And then on Bud and Bomac, bro, they don't say shit. Like Bernie is the close, and Bernie is selective on what he put out. So who are these channels talking to get numbers 55-45? The
shit.
promotion?
I don't know, cause I ain't them. I just until I just for me, World Combat, bro. And again, like, you grown ass man, you older than me. I never disrespect you on no shit like that. But just for me, in my opinion, how I carry myself, bro, I'm not going to call someone a liar or say that they fake or they fraud, and I'm not saying you're doing that. Or I'm not gonna let me just say I'm not gonna call something a lie.
I just said it was cap.
No, yeah. Or I'm not even gonna say something cap unless I know for a fact that it is. And until the actual like, what if they are just saying that shit, right? But then the purse split actually come out, and the shit turned out to be true. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I
Look,
don't want
that's when I
until
get
we
behind the
all
mic.
know, like, it's hard to be like, yo, y'all lying, because at this point somebody come out, man, yo, it's 67-33, yo, it's 60-40, yo, it's 50-50, and then what if the shit happened to be right? That's, in my opinion, I do believe some people might have team members that they talking to, and maybe the team members lied to their ass, bro. Maybe the team member told them that shit, and the team member didn't know what they were talking about, and they taking it like, okay, he close to the team, I'm gonna go ahead and say this shit because I could be wrong, but there's a chance I could be right. You know, these people on YouTube, they ain't like you and me. They don't remember a whole bunch of shit. People memory span short. So I ain't gonna get mad at nobody for playing the game, especially if I can't prove that they lying, bro. At this point, we all just speculating, dog.
You can't prove that it's true either.
Facts, all facts. So
if you can't prove, if you can't prove the validity in the 55-45 in the October 29th date,
you can
so
question.
what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to say, okay, well, what are you doing?
No, again, you do what you do, bro. I'll never knock you.
That's what I'm saying.
For
Like,
me,
the world we
I'm
live
just
in.
I'm just gonna say, like I told you when you told me what you was talking about, and you were like, man, 55-45. You can scroll back. I was like, look, man, I don't know shit about that. All I know is they said the fight is close, and that's what I'm excited about. That's how I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
But I look at
it
way, this way, Knockout. Hey, Knockout, look at it this way. When you hear closing, I take closing the same as talking. They're in talks. They're in talks don't mean shit. Closing don't mean shit. I mean, it don't mean that's a definitive date. It gives hope. Closing mean it provides hope. That's it. Hope can be December or the early 23. That's what hope is when you talk about closing. What is closing? What are they talking about? The chain of command doesn't start with YouTube with disbursement of information. You know that,
Listen,
knockout.
I ain't no journalist, but I know when I hear close or near or if, when I hear that shit in the story, that's just the journalist being like, you know what, bro, just in case I'm wrong, just in case I'm wrong, just in case this shit don't go through, I'm gonna make sure I'm able to say, look, man, I said it was close. Look, man, I said it was near. So I feel what you're saying, bro.
So
I'm
how
just
do you feel about the question mark, man? Because this is something I don't do. Like when people put titles up and put question marks, how do you feel about that? Because basically, we live in a era right now where you have skimmers.
yeah,
Skimmers are individuals that just glance at shit and then they put it in recall memory and they run with it. They don't read from left to right for the entire passage. So if you put a question mark at the end, that separates those individuals who saying 55-45 and October 29th. That separates them and give them a window
yeah.
to say I'm not 100% liable for putting out false information.
Yeah, the
I
same
put a
shit that
question
Mike
mark at the
Carpenter
end.
do. I look at it like this, Scotty, and shout out to Tay Jones in the building and Mark Nash, all these content creators, man, working hard and shit. This is how I look at it, bro. I don't do the shit because I know what a question mark mean. Like I'm not gonna say World Combat Sports confirmed to be fighting knockout boxing question mark. Like, I'm not gonna do no shit like that because that's not a question that I just asked you. That's a statement that I made. So
Correct.
I don't do it because that's just how I get down. I will let you know, like I will make my statement and then make my video, and then you can agree with my opinion, disagree with it, whatever the case may be. Do you? You know what I'm saying? That's up to you. I'm a content creator, so I got to be open to any and all criticism. But again, if that's how somebody do their shit, bro, that's on them. I ain't gonna like. I like chopping it up with y'all, bro, and I'm glad I'm able to come up here and shit. But I'm not gonna. I'll never tell you, man. Look, I don't like the way you do this. I don't like the way you do it. I'll come in the chat and I might disagree with you, but I'm always hit that like button. I'm always make sure you get your view from me. And when you drop the link, I'm gonna come up here and chop it up with you cordially, whether or not I agree or disagree with something that you're doing with your channel, the shit that you do your hard work with, the shit that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, bro. I either keep that shit to myself, or if we were close enough for me to actually critique your shit, then I'd have your personal details and your number, and I'd talk to you behind the scenes. I don't need to embarrass you and try to you know what I'm saying, talk shit. But as far
Yeah,
as the
I feel you on
that
that,
shit,
but
that shit
it
ain't for
happens.
me, bro. Like it ain't like I agree with you. That shit ain't for me. You won't catch knockout doing it because I don't rock like that. And to the ones that do, that's them, bro. Do you? I ain't knocking nobody hustle, nobody style. My style just a tad bit different. When people come to my shit, I'm gonna like, for instance, if I'm gonna ask a question, I'm gonna do a question, and you and I talked about it yesterday. Does Terrence Crawford have a high ring IQ? It'll be a question mark after that, motherfucker. And then I'm gonna give you my answer, and then I'm gonna tell you why I think what I think. But I wouldn't make a statement like Terrence Crawford got a low ass ring IQ. Question mark. That ain't me, dog. Like that ain't how I title my shit. But anybody that do you. That just ain't for knockout, bro.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I mean, and that's like getting into the fight aspect. You know what I'm saying? I know you get detailed about that, but I was pretty much trying to detail
You
the
talking about like with
liability.
these stories and shit, like
Yeah,
you
like
talking
like
about like Devin Haney versus Tank Davis is confirmed? Question mark. You
yeah,
talking about
like
shit like that?
it's extortion, man. Like you extorting someone's damn psychological process. You're pulling shit out of them, and it's not real, man. You have ulterior motives. And look, I know you can sit up here and you can ask the question, okay, how do we know it's not real? Okay, because
Yeah.
there's a chain of command. If we're gonna reference Mike Carpenter, we have to understand that if it was 55-45 and a fight date was out, wouldn't he come out with it? He has the highest chain of command. They drop info to him first. It's
Mm,
proven. You put the
yeah.
info in the live chat. You said it yourself. So why would he pass on this 55-45 and the October 29th? Why would Carpenter pass on that?
Nah, he would not. Like that's
He
big
wouldn't,
news.
because
He didn't get the job
the
at
shit ain't out
ESPN.
yet.
He didn't get the job at ES. Like I agree with that, bro. He didn't get the job at ESPN. He didn't get that job by giving other people his stories. Like
Correct.
I know enough to know that shit. You don't get big breaks and give them to other people if you want to stay at the top. Like that's 100% factual. So I get it, bro. I totally understand. But look, I'm gonna let you cook, bro. I'm about to hop out. But I want to hop on here, bro, because you always come into my chat. You always hop on my panel. So when I see you live, I'm always try to chop it up for a little bit. Even we agree and disagree. It's just boxing talk to me, bro. I never take the shit so serious, dog.
Oh, for sure, man. You know how it is, man. The invitation is always open. I appreciate you clicking the link because I
Yes,
was just
sir.
waiting for them, anybody else to come
You
up and
want
click the
somebody,
link.
you want somebody to click that. You want somebody to click that shit and confirm this 55-45. You got
That's
questions.
all I want. That's
I'm
all
gonna
I
let
want.
you. I'm gonna let you keep asking them hoes because I ain't got no answers. I'm gonna hop out.
For sure. Appreciate you pulling up, bro.
All right, bro. Peace.
Damn, what is going on with y'all in the chat, man? What the fuck? Hold up. Man, shout out to Pac-Man ATL in the building. What y'all going in on Pac-Man for, man? What did he do? What did he do, man? Only source that's close to that situation is Blue because the acquaintance close to the situation. But the sources I have that deal, the deal is done. PBC just doing a background on Bud to see if he's involved with Daniel Cunningham. Okay, Pac-Man, I have to respond to this, bro. Okay, check this out. And you should I don't have to sit up here and explain we grown men. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I have just as many sources as Blue Blood. I have the receipts. Whenever we meet, I have the receipts. I have just as many sources at PBC than Blue Blood. Once again, I have just as there's no knock on Blue. I'm not gonna bite my tongue for nothing. It's in all respect. I have just as many sources as Blue. Just because I don't have all these other people that's co-signing, I don't need it. I have just as many sources. Just because I move under the radar doesn't mean I don't have sources. And I just got off a reputable source at PBC and told me they still in negotiations. They're still in negotiations. And that's all respect, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's all respect, Tay. You know what it is, man. That's all respect. And then I'm gonna go a step further about the Cunningham situation. All right. So there's a dilemma going on here. We're talking about the higher ups, the elites, the shakers and movers. Someone's trying to convince me. You're trying to convince me that the deal is done, but all of a sudden they're going in reverse. They're gonna make the deal, but they're doing a background check to see if Bud has any relations to Daniel Cunningham. Wouldn't you do that preamble? Wouldn't that be what you do at first? We already know that Bud and Errol Spence, they want to fight each other. The fans want to fight. So if that's the case, with all those shakers and movers, I'm talking about astute businessmen, don't you think they would have did a background check with all those resources they got ahead of time and then get to the money aspect, get the money out the way, and then move on to the dang fight date and the venue? Why would they approve a 55-45 and then all of a sudden, okay, now that we got this situated, but we're gonna do a background check on you? I just, that doesn't sit well. That's not something I can tell you, Pac-Man, that that's not how I process things in life. You're trying to tell me they're going to approve for the money, but yet they're going to do a background check afterwards. Astute businessmen, Harvard grads. With all the resources in the world, you're going to complete an investigation. That is not how you want the ebbs and flows of business to work. I mean, I'm just assuming. I'm not at PBC, and I know you have close ties to the champ himself, Deontay Wilder, I know that. Malik, all them cats. I also have contacts in my phone too. Not one, not two, not three. I have more than 3 contacts that's at PBC that I can get my information from. Real talk. That is absolutely no snapback. I don't go around here trying to just like Showtime. Showtime got many contacts, but people are not going to do it because they think he ain't doing nothing. He has a lot of contacts behind the scene too. I mean, just because the channel is not the way it should be visualized in the pupil of someone else. I'm just saying that I spoke to someone today on a stack of Bibles, on God, and everything else is Adrian Broner say on God. I spoke to them today. And I asked, and we was having a conversation about this 55-45. I say, I need to understand from you if it's anywhere in the circle of your people that you deal with PBC, that you talk to on a regularity, that 55-45 has been agreed upon right here, right now. And I was told no. They still talking about the money aspect of it. So then you come into play, like, just off what you said, like 55-45 has been agreed upon. Now we're going to investigate you. What? Hell no. That's just like improving somebody for a job of employment. But yet somebody said they got a criminal record. But in order for you to get the job, you can't have a criminal record. But look, we like the way you dress and the way you look. We're going to give you the job first. Then we're going to do the criminal background check. So if you did commit that murder, we'll find out and you're going to be terminated. You understand that? But I want you to go in there, enjoy yourself. Welcome to the team. That's not the way it works. I'm just being honest. That's not the way it worked, bro. We all could be wrong there, Tay. We all could be wrong. Real talk. Me, Blue, anybody. We all can be wrong. I ain't perfect. I mean, I'm not sitting up here pointing the finger on who wrong and who this, that, and the other, because this ain't all about finger pointing. You know, in all respect, you got to say that because people on here on YouTube be getting upset about small stuff. But I'm just saying, 55-45, October 29th. The higher chain of command with media disbursement has been proven to be Mike Coppinger and a surplus of other names in the business. Mike Coppinger have not reported this. So you're trying to fool the YouTube community into believing that we have a chain of command here that somehow has infiltrated the higher ups. And they're saying, you know what? Instead of us doing our duties, we're going to delegate that authority to you. And we want you to drop this information first. For real? Yeah. What you want me to say? Drop 55-45 and the fight day is going to be October 29th. You can handle that? Oh, absolutely, sir. No, I can't fathom that, bro. I can't fathom that. That's the way things work. Nah, I can't see it. I'm being honest, man. In all respect, bro, I'm being honest to all y'all. That's not how the chain of command delegation works in life, in corporate world, and in the military world. They don't give you a job first and then say, no, they don't send you to the military first and then say, we're going to do a background check later. So the 8 felonies that you heard that I'm, have on my record, that's okay. We're going to take care of that later. Go in there, be the few, the proud, serve your country. And when this information come back, we're going to let you know what your stance is. If it comes back and it's proven that you got 8 felonies, we're going to discharge you from the military clean and dry, and you go back to the civilian life. You understand? All right, cool. That's not the way it works, people. I appreciate y'all in the chat, man, dropping your input. Real talk. I appreciate y'all dropping your input in the chat, man. Trap said, I believe Bernie in regards to the conversation he had with Bud. And he said Bud told him on Memorial Day that nothing been reported is true. And he hasn't heard anything about the numbers. So, to touch on that briefly, if that was told around that time, per se, let's just say they haven't received anything and finally they received something. Do you know it's a time, it's a process that it has to go through with the legal team and everybody that's reviewing these contracts or reviewing this paperwork? It's not just Bud sitting up there with his feet propped up watching TV. You have mail. And Bud go over here and click on it, and he takes the time and says, let me read this. Without informing anybody else, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. People believe that. This shit doesn't go down like this. This is a high dollar fight with two prize fighters. Once again, this is a high dollar fight with two prize fighters. Do you think Bud Crawford is the only one reading this? Do you think his manager, Bo Mack, is not informed? He has a legal team. He has a legal team, man. He has a legal team. Man, everybody knows that shit. I'm not here to sit up here and criticize, other channels and shit. Blue has been in the game as long as he has, and he reports on what he reports on. All I'm saying is I have an issue with the validity of 5545. That don't have nothing to do with nobody's family. That don't have nothing to do with anything. I is not in this line of work for personal shit. I'm telling you on the outside, on the exterior, when you say 5545 and a fight date and other people vouching, I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Validate that source. That's 5545 October 29th outside of YouTube. The same shit I said on the other live. Show me a link. YouTube aren't the front runners, the first responders of media disbursement. That's not the way it works, people. That is not the way it works. I want someone to provide me a link that says this fight is already done deal. So it's all about who hears the news first and can report it the fastest. No, Teach. It's not who hears the news first. First of all, it's whatever news you're gathering, right? So let's not play ABC. Let's not play with the alphabets. Like we used to have big blocks back in the day when I was growing up, when we only had 3 channels. We didn't have social media. So, you might have been freaking 10 or 11 years old, bored as fuck playing with some damn Tonka. Anyway, let's not act like we playing with ABCs here. We already know the system and how this shit works with media. Mike Coppinger is a prominent link, the lifeline to the outside world when it comes to this media disbursement. Once again, Mike Coppinger is a lifeline to us out here. He has direct contact that I will believe over any channel out here on YouTube before I sit up here and make a thumbnail about it. Once again, Mike Coppinger, Keith Ioli, Dan Raphael, all them cats that has direct information. They get the news first. They have contact. They have meetings. They have teleconferencing. They have all this shit before this news is dispersed. I would respect the fact that he released the shit before anybody on YouTube. I don't care who you know. And y'all should still, y'all should feel the same about me. If I come in here and I say a breaking alert, Deontay Wilder's coming back, and his next opponent is going to be Joe Frazier. I mean, I would expect you all not to believe that for many reasons. That's all I'm saying. Is it turned into a Wilder versus Joshua 5 years ago? It is. But look, Dion, the Wilder versus Joshua shit was pretty, like, it was a lot of shit that was evident that wasn't going to take place. It was a lot of shit that was evident that Team Joshua Eddie Hearns was pushing. It wasn't too much of a secret type shit. Like, we knew about the 12, we knew about the 15, we knew about Joshua getting on social. We knew about all that. It didn't have to be reported. We knew about all that. What people had a question about, if Deontay was going to accept the $50 million, what was contractual stipulations? And then after Joshua, so-called the WBA said he's the mandatory and they need to shut down negotiation with Wilder, else he'll be stripped and he needs to comply within a week. Guess what? A week came and went. Joshua wasn't stripped of the WBA title, but he did in fact end up fighting Alexander Povetkin. Then the stipulations to the contract came out that Wilder wanted Joshua to fight in the States, no rematch clause. Fight for the belts in the States, no rematch clause. If you're giving guaranteed $50 million, that's guarantee money. That's not his top purse. Then it's no rematch. And it's going to be in the States. So almost like what Cambozo did in Australia. But yet, Anthony Joshua was due the lion's share of the monies. And it didn't go down. Joshua will go on in September on that bogus-ass 2-fight Wembley deal. I wouldn't say it was bogus. I wouldn't say it was. They just didn't fulfill the April date. But he did go on to fight Alexander Povetkin, and nobody really cared. Only 4 amateur fights and turned and beat people I wasn't supposed to. Man, god damn, man. What the fuck is going? Pat say, on another note, W says, hope you're well, brother. Isn't this around the time a lot of teenagers graduate or summertime begins for college? What does that got to do with anything? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Another note, is this around the time a lot of teenagers graduate? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's summertime. I don't know where you're getting at. Real talk. He said Teofimo was confirmed to fight Cepeda. Said Khan and Brooks was canceled. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, shit. Damn, the live chat is lit, dog. Damn. Oh, shit. Okay. Teach. Let me put Teach comment up here. Teach said WCS information is leaked all the time. Look, Teach, I got to put the disclaimer up there. I do not care what all information is leaked. I'm talking about the magnitude of this fight. Now, if this is just any fight, any names that wasn't as big as Crawford Spence, then I would say, you know what, that's possible. This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. It's not as big. But the magnitude of this fight is historic. It deals with a lot of money to compensate both fighters. And it's for undisputed. It's for undisputed in the 4-belt era. So I'm being honest, bro. I don't care that information is leaked all the time. Are we talking about miscellaneous current event information? Or are we talking about boxing information? We're talking about boxing information. I really don't care about any other information that's non-pertaining to what I understand about the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing have chain of commands all over the place, especially when it comes to media. And I'm telling you, all those guys, Carpenter and all those guys, they're at the top of the chain when it comes to people informing them of information involving such a big fight like Spence and Crawford. They're not gonna leak it to no YouTube people. It doesn't work that way. Do you see fighters? Check this out. I'm gonna drop another gem on your head. Do you see Top Rank doing this shit? Do you see Top Rank doing this shit? You know, I'm gonna leak this fight, right? I'm gonna leak this fight to YouTube. Do you see Top Rank leaking information to the YouTube community? Appreciate your input, y'all, in the chat, man. Appreciate your input. And I look, this is boxing. I know y'all gonna be upset with one another. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know y'all gonna be upset, but you know, y'all grown ass man. Y'all know this ain't my first rodeo. It's not your first rodeo either. But all I want from you all is to help me understand where I can find the 55-45. This not no channel against channel, all that shit. I ain't no punk with mine. This ain't no one-on-one. This is not even something that's even remotely close. I'm just saying it's open-ended to the YouTube community. If someone can provide me with the 55-45. Because when I got off the phone, this is not what the OG that I had on that's closely associated with PBC. This was with somebody else today because I've been trying my research. Once this shit is floating around on the surface, I have to call some people. Like I have phases too. I have certain people I call during phase one. I'm serious. I have certain people I call during phase two, and then certain people I call during phase three. Real talk. I have contacts that I call during phase 1, 2, and 3. Real talk. That's all I'm saying. Let me see. ATL, he been behind on the chats. You probably should call him and text him. I'm not behind on the chats. I'm good. I see your chat right now. Sounds look. Oh, okay. There go the link. I was skimming a little bit. There go the link. There goes the link. Anybody else to choose to click the link? It's in the live chat. What up with it, Tay?
What's up, bro? What's going on?
I'm chilling, man. I see y'all going up there. Y'all shadow boxing in the live chat. What's on your mind, man? What's on the mind?
People be want to start shit, man. But until I got stuff to say. I was gonna say, you absolutely correct about the 45, 55. Like I say, it's actually it just hit me because I didn't see it until somebody text me and showed me where it was or whatever like that. So the thing about it, like I said before, I never heard that until today. But only reason why I can kind of say like I understand what Blue is saying is simply because of something that happened maybe like right after Crawford. I'm not Crawford, but what's his name? After Spence fought Ugas. I do know of a situation where the investors who was trying to invest in the fight at first, it was almost a sour deal. And one of the investors is very, very cool with Blue, so he was actually in on the call. So of course, my guy Blue couldn't really hold it in. So I was on three-way, so I actually heard some of the conversation. So that's why I say he got
Conversation dealing with an investor for Crawford Spence.
yeah. That was like I said, that was like about 2 months ago. So you know what I'm saying? That's why I say he got acquaintances close to the situation. But for us to 45, 55, I don't know nothing about that because, like I said, they wasn't even talking about that during that time. They was actually talking about a 2-fight deal. So I
I
don't
know
know.
there was various investors that was going and attempting to make this Canelo situation work.
Right,
That's where all that 100 million was coming from. But for Crawford, when that fell through, and Canelo then select to take Maul and Errol Spence or David Benavidez, then it comes down to Crawford Spence, which it isn't as lucrative as Canelo offer.
right,
You're not going to have investors coming to the table and saying, "Yeah, we'll pretty much do the same for Crawford Spence." They don't see it that way.
right, right. So that's the only thing. That's the only reason why I say, what I'm saying, just the acquaintances of people, what I'm saying, talking. But for us the 45, 55, I totally agree. That ain't my lane. I don't get into that. So I can't even debate that or say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? But for us, what I heard, um, some, like I say, what a lot of my sources come from. Like I say, they, when I put about the whole Daniel Canahan thing, that's because they was just trying to, they don't they from my understanding, like even speaking with Kenneth Buhari, and I asked him about the question
Yeah.
of the same fight, he said the same thing before, and that was almost a month ago when he was saying like, well, Al really don't want to do business with Daniel Canahan. So from my understanding, that they still working out the kinks, and um
So you understand, this, Tay. I ain't questioning your intelligence, but
yeah, yeah.
Al Hammond is a Harvard grad. So his surroundings, his team
Right,
is
right,
very
right,
astute individuals when it comes to business. Do you
right.
think they're going to work money out and then doing a background investigation? That
No,
doesn't
no.
make any sense.
Now, what I'm saying is that's part of the kinks being worked out. But I'm hearing that like the deal is done. I'm not saying anything is signed. What I'm saying is it's pretty much done. They just trying to work out kinks and see if things pop up. That's basically what I'm saying. I ain't saying they signed anything or anything of that nature. I'm just saying of working out kinks and see if possibilities still there, because they really don't want nothing to do with them. That's the only thing that I'm saying.
So the deal is signed.
No, 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 not
It-
signed. Is a pretty much gonna be a done deal, and they still working out kinks like
okay.
hotels, uh, 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 security guards, and things of that nature. And like I said before, the whole Daniel Canahan thing, they don't want no dealings with that. So that's that come from Kenneth Buhari. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that's why I said that. I think you misunderstood what I was saying. Now, I ain't saying like the deal signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm saying that it's in place. You feel me?
But
Like,
that's what I'm getting out here. The 55-45, I'm getting these YouTube streets of 55-45. That's not true, bro. Like, man,
hey,
come
like
on, that ain't true, bro.
yeah,
That's not true, man.
like I said, I can't argue that word comeback, but like I said before, like I always say on my channel, I gotta run through the fax machine. So that
Yeah,
part,
yeah, for
hey,
sure.
I don't know, bro. I don't
Yeah.
know. You feel me? But definitely, that's definitely what I hear. It's pretty much done. They just working out a few kinks. I'm not saying that it's signed or anything. Just working out a few kinks.
I was told, a venue that's gonna be in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I was told, of course, everybody that's analyzing this, they're trying to do the numbers on to see where who's going to be able to hold the capacity for this fight. And look, once again, it's the hocus pocus of boxing.
Right.
They insinuating that the fight is not a big ticket seller, but it is. This Terrence Crawford Errol Spence is a big ticket item. So they're portraying it as if people don't know how to predict where is it going to be. Is it going to be at Allegiant Stadium? Is it going to be at T-Mobile? Is it going to be at the MGM Grand? People don't have no idea because it's being portrayed out there that it's not a lucrative fight. People don't want to invest their money into this fight for whatever reason.
Mm, mm. Now, one thing I can say is that like I said, I'm not for sure, especially when it comes to this fight. But one thing I can say for sure is that I wouldn't be surprised if it is on the weekend of the I think the 22nd, I believe, of October. And the only reason
Mhm.
why I'm saying that is because that same weekend is the Houston Texans playing the Raiders, which
Mhm.
makes sense from a PPC perspective because that's Earl, their guy. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can really think of. But with that even being said, that only give minimum amount of time if it's at Allegiant Stadium. That only give the people who got to play the next day minimum amount of time to get everything set up for the next day. So me personally, I was ruling it out unless they work, overtime,
No, no,
and
no,
that's a
no.
day.
You processing it.
Yeah,
See, that's what I'm trying to tell people. The word is already somebody put that, oh, it's probably gonna be at Allegiant Stadium. See, I ain't even say none of that shit. But
right,
see, you got people out here that can think for themselves. That's all I'm saying. Come
right,
on, man. Come
right.
on. It's
The-
been y'all putting out information, not you per se, but y'all putting out information on YouTube. It's gonna be at Allegiant Stadium on that weekend with a quick turnaround. Man, stop.
yeah, and the only thing I can really think of that's in Las Vegas that's open that weekend is the not MGM, but what's the other one you just said?
Tango Mobile, T-Mobile,
Yeah,
MGM.
yeah, T-Mobile. Yeah, yeah. That's the only one I can really think of. But like you said, I don't know. That's why I don't never really. If you notice, I don't really never talk about it because I don't know. You see what I'm
I
saying?
don't talk about numbers. It's not like I can, but I don't talk about numbers. But this fight, I put it like this, Tay. We had 4 undisputed fights happen around the welterweight division. And within those 4, they have been signed, sealed, delivered, completed. We have a unified champion. But yet with welterweight, all this storyline and soap opera and all these damn scheme and maneuvers and false information we don't need it for them to step in the ring and fight. Because every other 4 unified fights that happened with Canelo, Jamel Charlo, Josh Taylor, and Devin Haney, it wasn't no damn storyline like this where people just putting out damn secretive information that no
Right,
one can validate. The fight was signed and the news broke and it happened and it's a closed deal. It's no
right,
different than Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Why all the damn intrigue and false narratives being pushed? All I did was put up, I say, prove it. Nobody clicked the link to prove the 55-45. So if you're going to tell your audience it's 55-45, click the link and let me know. How did you come up with these numbers?
right,
This is where I'm at, Tay. You can't say, you know how some people, I'm going to tell you how it works behind the scenes sometimes. You already know.
right,
Deontay might tell you some shit. He say, man, don't leak that.
right,
Somebody might tell me, don't leak that.
right.
Why would somebody give 55-45 and say leak that
Mm,
without checking with Al Heyman? Who? Top Rank don't operate like that. Who would leak 55-45 and say, leak that? Go ahead. You have my permission. Man, Al Heyman don't play no little boy games like that. Who would give the information? Who? I'm just curious, bro. Who would give 2 pieces of information? 55-45 and October 29th.
October 29th.
Yeah. That's what's out there. October 29th would be a date
Well, you
for the
wasn't
fight.
but to even check that, one way you can check that is going on the hotel sites and seeing if the prices are inflamed. If it's a inflamed price on the hotels that weekend in Vegas, that's one way to check right now.
Correct. Correct. But look, the inflation is not gonna show itself right now because we already know it's June. It's already June. So we have enough time. Look, you have enough time to check and see if the hotels are any way, shape, or form, what the prices are. But I'm gonna tell you, the hotels can be somewhat similar, what, a month and a half, 2 months. No, no, no. I'll say about 3 months prior to the fight, so to speak. I'll say 2.5. You can get some okay prices through M Life if it's at the MGM and all this shit. But most of the time, when it gets within October itself, that's when the prices are the highest. But you can't check a hotel when you don't know the venue.
Is that
What
yeah?
venue we talking about?
Like yeah, that's true too. But like I say, that's normally how I know when big fights gonna come because like I said before, um, what fight was that? I want to say Charlo and Castano, because at first it was supposed to be in Texas, But then when they moved it to California, well, when I heard it was supposed to be moved to California, I went to go check the hotel prices for that weekend, and they did skyrocket. That's why I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna be in California when I heard it. I wasn't so sure, but that's one way I always get like the head start on stuff.
Correct. Okay. Talk about head start. So if these individuals who's reporting 5545 on October 29th, why haven't they got a head start? If I wanted to sit up here and prove to my audience, hey, I already booked my room, I'm telling y'all you should go ahead and book your room. Where the reservations at? If you can't provide me reservations, don't come up here talking about 5545 and it's October 29th. Because I know damn near most of these black YouTube content creators are saying they're going to be at this Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight. So why you haven't booked your room with? They was out there for Deontay Tyson Fury trilogy.
Right.
Where your room is booked at? Where the venue? You gonna put up 2/3 of the information? Why you gonna put 2/3? If you put up the numbers, the fight date, where's the venue gonna be at? That's all I want to know.
That's true. I feel you on that. That's true. You're right on that. I can't, like I say, I can't argue that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
There's no shots at nobody.
Right,
I'm just saying, man, stop the cap, man. Like you have so many other divisions that's unified around the welterweight division. Why is this any different? Why y'all creating storylines? You know what I'm saying? And murder mysteries and CSI type shit. People, you want to have people out here doing investigative work. Just let the fight materialize. Let the shakers and movers talk. Make this happen the way it's supposed to behind the scenes, the boxers, the teams, and all that shit. And then when they leak the information, we make the damn reservations with the hotel, we plan, and we start, creating content. Okay, it's a done deal. Now what? Right. It ain't too much other content to talk about. Once the deal is made, the only thing they're gonna talk about is whatever the price, whatever the ticket arrangements as far as the money is, the percentages. That's pretty much it. Because the fight date is going to be the fight date, and then the arena is going to be the arena. No one's going to have a problem with that. They just want to know if Errol Spence is going to get paid more of the purse than Terrence Crawford to make them happy. That's just me talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what they hoping.
Right. But let's play devil advocate. What if it is 55-45?
I don't think it is. But I get on here and say I was wrong. I'm human. And those same other people that's reporting on it, they've been wrong too.
Right.
They've been wrong on a lot of shit. So
right.
Look, let's not point the finger because I'm the only one that want to highlight this shit now. It's not personal. I'm just saying, stop with the cap, man, putting this information out and getting people on the edge of their seats. And we don't have nothing to resource it. We don't have no way to cite this information that you're putting out here. Give us one link outside of YouTube. All it is a single number, one link. Give me one link outside of YouTube from a reputable source. That's it. Just one. They can't do it. None of them.
Man, dude came back with the same troll account. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. I feel you. People ain't gonna give up names either though.
Hey, wrenches, you get the trolls in here, man. Block them, man. You know what I'm saying? If they come in here and they talking outside the boxing, you know what I'm saying? Block them. Or time them out. They'll get the picture. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, man. I pretty much put it out there on the thumbnail, like, you and Knockout was the only one click the link. There's plenty of other people out there, but when it comes to this, it's okay for you to click their link and they have control of the situation, the physical control. But I just wanted to know Where did you get the information from? Stop manipulating the ears of the listeners. Stop telling them it's 55-45 and that shit is cap all day, every day. We haven't heard anything. So if it's 55-45 and it come out that way, I get on here and say, you know what, I was wrong. But what my sources told me, they're not through negotiating yet.
Yeah.
They said 55-45 was agreed upon. Let's get it straight. Let's get it straight. It's not that it can't come out 55-45.
They said
the 55-45 was done.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I definitely didn't hear 55-45, but I heard they working out the kinks and pretty much in writing. Not signed, but pretty
I heard
much.
that too.
Yeah.
I heard that today.
Yeah.
I heard that today. They said they still in negotiations working out the money. They said money. They didn't say anything. The money is what they working on.
Right. The only to going by what you said for us, they saying it's not a big fight. The only way, I don't believe that. Well, I believe is a big fight all the way around the board. One of the things that Mr. Buhari was telling me was the numbers didn't add up for us. You know, the what Bud does versus what Spence does. But of course, like I say, on both sides, I got to look at both sides. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to this fight.
You say his name Buhari?
Kenneth Buhari.
Kenneth Buhari. So Kenneth Buhari, is he like a co-manager for Bud or something?
No, see, the thing about it is when these PBC fighters fight some of the, I guess at the time, top ranked fighters or whoever the other person may be signed to, they get authorization to the books. And if the books don't add up to certain numbers, sometimes they look at the numbers like, well, he only doing this amount. So it's like this the business part.
Okay, so you saying PBC who
at that time.
Yeah, correct. At that
Right.
time, PBC who Errol Spence, that's his promotional banner.
Right.
These individuals, I guess, in order to try to make that Terrence Crawford fight, they need to see what the value is. So they need to look at the books to try to mesh the numbers together, you know, try to whatever that business, you know, that business meeting that they go through what you're saying.
Right.
I mean, and these are books that we're not privy to out here on YouTube, just for y'all recollection. You know what I'm saying? We're not privy to the books.
Right.
But it just makes all the sense in the world what the OG told me the other day, that the fight isn't lucrative enough. The fight, you know, when it comes to two black fighters, we coming up with all these stipulations, man. Is Terrence Crawford worth what they say he is? Is Errol Spence worth what they say he is? Here we go.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where I'm saying. So if we can't see the books, how the hell we supposed to know? You see what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying.
So that's where I'm at with it, because like that's like the like right now, you hear Oscar De La Hoya saying he offered Tank amount of money. Well, first he said he offered Tank a lot of money, and then he came back and said something like, let's split it down the middle. Well, if you really look at that situation, I think Oscar De La Hoya lying. For one, now that PBC has rights to Golden Boy books simply because Ryan Garcia fighting Javier Fortuna, gotta ask yourself, who is Javier Fortuna with? He's with Samson. Who is Samson with? PBC Showtime. Well, now they give authorization to Showtime PBC to look at the books. So what De La Hoya is saying that now, what does make sense is the fact that Ryan Garcia, just him fighting Tago alone, his numbers is up there. So it could be some truth to what De La Hoya is saying about splitting it down the middle, because their numbers averaging about the same. But then again, on PBC side, they might be looking at it, well, Tank he did this on pay-per-view. What has Ryan did on pay-per-view? You see what I'm saying? So it basically don't have any merit to what De La Hoya is saying, talking about splitting down the middle, because that's not how they're gonna look at it. They're gonna base off the data they see from the books.
Well, De La Hoya's been so far off the mark. I don't know what to believe sometimes. Like I don't even know what this dude is talking about. Real talk. I just don't know. And then how can Ryan Garcia have any type of monetary leverage based off of Manuel Targo? Like
Exactly.
how?
Well, because of leverage only because of the numbers that he's doing. The
What
books
numbers are those?
that and that's another thing. We won't see the books, but from what I've heard, Ryan Garcia is averaging those type of numbers.
What? Wow.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Manuel Targo, just because he had one loss, don't mean he complimented Ryan Garcia and people wanted to see that fight. Everybody I talked to, they weren't trying to see Ryan Garcia fight this dude for real. They just thought he was just a stepping stone for a bigger fight.
right,
And
right.
then that bigger name ended up being Javier Fortuna once Isak Cruz didn't want none.
Man, it's crazy, man. That's why I say, man, a lot of stuff it be making just from knowing how the business go. A lot of stuff that people put out, it really don't be making sense to me. Like it got to make sense to me. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just because
Yeah.
understanding the business part. If it don't make sense, and I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand how the business side go, how they do it on the business side. They look at them books. If that shit don't add up, man, good luck.
And that's where we at. Like I don't even wanna I always said before, we don't have any type of awareness to the books. We don't have any type of attention. We don't have no access. We don't have none of that shit.
Right,
Nothing. We
right.
just guessing in the dark. We know what comes out. Like when they said Crawford did 90 to 100 some thousand. I mean, come on now. You putting a range as to what he did? Like what is it? Is it 90 or is it 150,000? Well, it's 90, it's 91. It's on the lower end. No, I don't believe you, man. Find some documentation, man. I don't believe you.
Here's one thing that Kenneth Bookhart did tell me. He say, um, what was fight that the Andy Ruiz and Chris Areola fight did more views than Porter and Crawford. Now he did say that, and the only way he could
So
say
that's a
that,
Mexican fan base.
and that's what I'm saying. So that's why and that's one of my points. They looking at this stuff through the books, which is something we don't have obviously control of or we can see. So with that being said, how could we possibly say 55 40? No, we don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like we don't know. So now that I'm hearing 55-45, that can be I'm not saying it's impossible or possible, but we don't know. And like you said, for anyone to say 55-45, how would they know? See what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying. Hey
Yeah.
Steve, you got to turn on your camera, man. I don't know who you are. I didn't see you in the chat. I don't know who Steve Smith is. You got to turn on your camera so I can see your face, man. Because you got trolls in here, and we're not jumping up here trying to yell out some stuff and all that. So you want to pop on your camera so I can see who you are, cool. But if you're unwilling, then I got to keep it moving, bro. That's all. I need to know who I'm talking to, especially on this topic. But yeah, I see where you're going at, man. That's all I'm saying. 55-45. You know, I don't see it elsewhere. We need a second and a third source to cite this from. It's plain and simple, man. You're not gonna sit up here and buy a car with no Carfax. You're gonna find some way to validate what's been going on with the vehicle. That's all. I mean,
Right.
like Carfax is a credible source to accident history, vehicle damage, and all this other stuff.
Right.
But then 55-45 for a fight of this magnitude, why are they gonna break protocol and leak it to somebody on YouTube? Anybody, any one of y'all out there, why are they gonna leak it to you all?
Mm.
Don't put question marks on it. Put the shit out like you know that's what's popping. If you know it ain't popping, don't put it out. Because people don't know whether to reserve their room. They're up here thinking, oh, is it out? You know what else my source told me that people was calling and asking, is the fight gonna be in October? Because some of them people was like, Oh, well, we heard this. They say, man, don't believe that shit on social media. Wait till we give you the call. Wait till we shoot you the text. Then that's what it is. And that's no snapback, man. Like they said, wait till we shoot you the text.
Right.
Not this shit you hear on social media and nobody else is talking about it.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah, and I get that. I'm with you. And the only reason why I said that, what's my guy Blue? Only reason why I said that is because of the situation 2 months ago with the group of investors. Now, I personally heard them myself. That's why I said I was who I was talking to. I think it was Mark. Now, I personally heard them talking myself, and that was like 2 months ago. And that's why I said, well, Blue got acquaintances to this, so that's why I'm saying like maybe he heard that from them group of people because, like I said before, he did click me in, but that was 2 months ago, so I feel comfortable about talking about it.
Yeah,
But
and that's who you close to. It's all good that
right,
you can
right,
say
right,
Blue has his resources. I get it. I'm not
right,
saying he don't,
right.
but I have my resources too.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm with you. But like I say, I can't say 55-45 because I don't know what them damn books look like.
Correct.
And I won't know anything about a split or if it is going to be a split until they fully announce the fight.
If you was an investor,
hmm
wouldn't you source the books?
I'm going to have to.
Okay. So if we're talking about communication from investor, they should be privy with the information
Right.
to what the books are and everything else to go. That's all I'm saying. Like, come on, these investors they sitting very heavy in wealth and everything, and they should have a clear understanding what the books look like and what this fight is going to be. That's if they got to that conclusion. If they got to that point in the negotiation process as an investor, they should be able to say what's going on. But
Right.
most of the time, if they're in communication behind closed doors, they're not gonna leak anything to no YouTube content creators. That's not the way it works, man. They're gonna leak it officially first. They're gonna announce it official, and then it comes and bleed over into the YouTube community, and they start talking about it. What Blue and everybody else has, that's their resources. I can't sit up here and say, nah, that's not true.
Right.
I'm just saying I have resources also that I have truth. You know what I'm saying? I have faith in what they telling me.
Right. hmm Absolutely. I'm with you. Definitely with you on that. I just want to see how everything play out.
I don't even really care about the percentages they getting. I just want to see them step in the ring, and so let's determine who's the best. Period. That's all I want to see. I don't care if Spence get 40%. I mean, not Spence, Crawford. That's not for me to sit up here and debate that. I'm mad because he got 40%. If his team and them discuss 40% and that's what they agreed upon, who am I to sit up here and get mad at Crawford? No, I support Crawford for him as a boxer. I'm not in his pockets like that. That man has more kids than I got. Come on, man. Like, relax.
Right.
I don't care about none of that.
You got a private message.
I
No, I'm
can't
with
see your face. I can't see your face, bro. Who are you?
Yeah, I definitely.
Who are you, man? I can't see your face there. Let me see your eyes, man. Okay, let me see who this may be. What up, bro?
How you doing? Right.
What's good?
Yeah, I agree with you. They're not. It's not going to be announced through YouTubers. It's going to be the fighters are going to announce it first, and then all the other information to follow about splits and all that. That's
saying,
what.
okay, so you're saying it's not going to be announced to YouTubers? Are you saying because you're closely related to somebody who can give you that information, or you just
No, but
conversing
that's
and
just
having
the
a
way
dialogue?
things go. That's just the way things go. You know, you can't
Yeah.
until you hear it from the horse's mouth. You can't start believing all this other, especially no offense, but Blue Blood is a clickbaiter anyway with his videos. So I mean, you got to be stupid to believe anything what he says. So
I mean, that's your opinion. That's your
yeah,
opinion. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to sit up here because Blue is not here to defend himself. And I never had a problem with Blue. I never had a problem with him.
I
He
don't
been
have
the
a
game.
problem.
I understand you might have a problem with it, but I'm just saying if you think some type of way about his content, then you need to address that on his live chat.
Yeah, that's it. I've not got a problem with him. I can see what he's about, and I just don't watch him. He could do what he likes.
Okay, but do you have some on the topic? Because you know he is who he is. You need to address him the next time he go live, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go on his live. I don't watch him. You know.
You got to, man. If you have a problem with it, you got to give the man the opportunity to address you.
I
You
don't.
know,
I don't have a problem with him.
huh?
I just know what his videos are about, so I don't watch them. I've got no problem. Same with Tay Jones. He's the same.
Man, fuck you. I don't give a fuck.
I remember your Deontay Wilder stuff.
Man,
When's the
fuck
court case?
you, man. Bitch ass nigga, shut the fuck up.
We ain't doing that, Steve. You ain't coming over here just taking no. We ain't doing that, bro. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? You came on here just to dang highlight people that you don't like. Two black channels that you don't like, man. Stop. You probably don't like my shit. You just wanted to get that off.
Well, pig, man. That motherfucker made
Hey,
two
you
posts.
know, man, come on, bro.
Listen, he made two burner accounts and then came up here, man. Nobody want to hear that shit.
And you know what? You know the UK cat's gonna come for you. You already know that since
Man.
Anthony Joshua and everybody, dog.
Man, fuck them niggas, man.
No, Steve, we can't do that, bro. We're not gonna come over here and talk about all these channels you despise of. You don't like my shit. You know what I'm saying? The fuck you talking about? You don't even like my shit. You just came in here to get off with Tay. That's all that fucking was, dog. No, we ain't doing that today. We ain't doing that today, man. You gotta take that up with Blue. You know what I'm saying? Next time he go live, take that up with him.
That motherfucker put his name in Steve Smith.
I know, man. That's not even your real name, man. And plus, you from the UK too, man. So you had ulterior motives, bro. Real talk.
But yeah, man, I'm with you though, Scotty. I'm definitely with you, man. Like I say, it would this definitely been interesting because, like I said before, there's no way. Oh man, I just believe, like I say, and that's and this is a very very hard topic for me, and that's why I be neutral to both fighters because, like at the same time, you know, it's one thing to talk about the fight, but then it's another thing to talk about the number. I refuse to talk about numbers. I refuse to. And I just don't see how I don't see how some people sit. I don't. That's not my lane, man. You know, I've always been told to stay in my own lane.
I had to ban that dude, kick him out the back. He's just hanging out in the back. I agree with standing in your own lane. This is the most I ever talked about numbers, and I
Yeah,
really don't have a commitment to it. I'm not dedicated to talk about numbers because we don't have accessibility to the books. If we had accessibility to the books, we can take some screenshots and we can really have the information to sit up here and do a live stream on with receipts. That'll be different. But outside of that, it's BS. You know what I'm saying? I've seen certain individuals in certain promotions inflate numbers. They inflate the fuck out of numbers and they'll put it out to the media. And then somebody else will come up with numbers lower than that. We just seen it happen with Javante and Rowley.
yeah,
Numbers came out that it was over 400,000. They
right.
did over 400,000. And then the other numbers come out, they did over 200,000. Keith
Yeah,
say at World Combat Sports, there has to be a starting point. The starting point is the leak. However, I get what you are saying. It's always good to have something concrete. Leaks just give is a story.
I'm laughing at Stormy B man.
Have the raggedy snaggety two motherfucker take 3 seats. Two for his over bloated ass and one for steel toed. Yeah, I believe that dude had a shout out to Stormy B the Sensei, man. I believe that dude had a burner account and I blocked him. He came back on a different account and wanted to get off on the channels that he don't like. That's all. And I think he might be an absolute Deontay Wilder hater because he attacked two channels that's close to Wilder. That's what I think that was. That's all. That's what I think that was.
Oh man. But yeah, man, I really, I just know my lane. Man. I hate talking numbers, but it's hard for me to believe the breakdown of splits right now, considering the fact that they've speaking to a representative. Like it'd be different if I had a representative from whoever Bud may be with now. It'd be different now if I had a representative with whoever Bud may be with. And then, of course, I talked to Kendra Buhari. I can possibly say, okay, well, I'm smart enough to know how to deal with numbers. Obviously, let me see if I can come up with the same thing they coming up with. But I don't have anybody from Bud, so I can't see here and replicate or put out numbers because I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I did have access to both as a whole, then I can say, yeah, that sound about right. But I can't because I only have one side and not the other.
When it comes to media, do you think Mike Carpenter have access to both? No, right? So
Right.
Mike Carpenter don't have access to both, but there is somebody out there that does. So when that person that's connected mutually and they get the information, they leak it. They don't leak it. They give it to Mike Carpenter, and then he puts it out there, and then it bleeds over into the mass media. That's how that shit works. But as far as the YouTube, I know people on both sides, but they're not gonna say, okay, I'm gonna give you this, but don't put it out. Or I'm gonna give you this, go ahead and leak it. No, because only certain people know of this information. That's how what I've been told, man. Certain people know about this information. I'm telling you, man, this is where it's headed. It's nothing confirmed yet, but this is where it's headed. This is what the numbers will look like. This is where the fight's gonna be on this date, da da da. But it's nothing confirmed yet. Shit might change.
Yeah, and that's why me and you both saying that they working out the kinks.
And that's what happened with what fight was that? What fight was that? I forgot what fight that was, man. Was it Wilder fight? Let me see. Was it Wilder?
What's that?
Let's see. They said the fight was going to be at the end. Let me see. It was a fight we went to in Vegas, and I made reservations at the what's the deli I forgot that place, the deli that was close to the Raiders Stadium. Oh yeah. They say the fight was going to be at the Raiders Stadium, so I pre-booked at the deli or whatever it's called, them suites up there.
Right.
And then they changed the shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It changed. It went from the Raiders Stadium to T-Mobile.
To T-Mobile. That's where it went. So it went from the Raiders Stadium to T-Mobile. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. You can sit up here and predict and talk all you want. People up here making reservations, then the shit changes. I'm telling you, it happened. That's why I speak on it the way I do. Because they were saying that Wilder's fight was going to be at Raiders Stadium, and then it changed to the T-Mobile.
Yeah, it sure did.
That's with reservations and all this other shit. Yep.
So I ain't gonna lie, because at one point I was happy to go to the Raiders. I said, we find who? Well, okay, bet. And that shit changed within like a couple days.
Yep. All them people went and made reservations, and then now that the word is out that it's gonna be over here, then the room rates are sky high. I made that shit well in advance. You know what I'm saying? Now I settle in with everybody else with the prices. The prices are sky high. You know what I'm saying? And you up here calling yourself being proactive. No. I had to switch my room. Yeah, man, that shit was crazy.
Man, not the shit on Mike Coppinger. You know, I really don't care for him. But I get a lot of my sources like to say it's only, and they Mike Coppinger, all them Kevin, all them guys, they go to him too. But Bull he really the jug man when it comes to knowing exactly. Well, I ain't gonna say knowing exactly when the fight is, but he's probably 95% right on that. But definitely who the fighter is fighting, he's 100% right. Because I know earlier something about Shakur Stevenson versus Emmanuel Navarrete. Well, they gonna fight, but it's gonna be at the end of the year. Emmanuel Navarrete actually want a tune-up fight, so he gonna be fighting Eduardo Baez first, while Shakur Stevenson possibly fight, or he can wait, but possibly fight Consejo. So when I seen Mike Coppinger say that, and then he came back and said something else, he actually erased that tweet. That's how I know sometimes he be incorrect, but I just had to put that out. I don't really fuck with Mike like that.
I mean, I don't either. I don't mess with him. Like I'm just saying, look who he worked for, and look at his track record as far as the information that he put out.
Right.
Well, most of the time, man, he's the first responder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. He's the one putting out the shit, and that's the way I look at it. Like it's plenty of Dan Raphael, Keith Ioli, Dan Pugmire, all them dudes, man. I mean, hey, but not YouTube.
Yeah.
I know Teach was talking about Elite just give us a story. Man, hey, you are not dealing with individuals just out here for play. You're dealing with businessmen. It's a reason why they want to be the ones who leak or make the announcement official. They're not sitting up here fumbling around with YouTube content creators. These are businessmen dealing with high dollar. They live different from us. They're not playing play just by putting shit out on a fight of this magnitude. Now, if it's a low level fight that really not too many people and they want to draw some attention, they might put the news out there, but people will make up one or two thumbnails and keep it moving. That's about it. But hey, Tay, I got to roll, man. I got a interview with Rick Glaser at 7, man.
Okay, no problem.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you pulling up, though.
Yes, indeed.
All right, for sure, man.
All right, bro.
Yep. Hey, all y'all that's in the chat, man. Hey, appreciate you being live today. I want y'all to tune back in for my interview with the infamous insider himself. Rick Glaser will be on deck at 7 o'clock. So I know there's people who love him and there's people who hate him. I'm here to have a dialogue with him about boxing. I can really care less what y'all got to say about him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just talking about the topics. No personal shit. I can care less. He ain't did nothing to me. So if y'all choose to tune in to the interview that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I would appreciate it. Thanks for everyone pulling up today. It got crazy, but my request still stands. Out the door. Show me a link, 55:45 in the fight day. That's all I'm saying. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm